everyone. My name is Marquita, but you can call me Q. I'm here to help you on your faith walk, to help you grow in faith and intimacy with God. Today, I'm coming with a video just talking about you being watchful of the devil, for he is like a prowling lion. I'm coming out of 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. To be sober means to be calm and collected in spirit, to be temperate, dispassionate, and circumspect. That is letting peace be your state of mind. And how can you let peace be your state of mind unless the Lord your God is your focus? The Bible tells us to humble ourselves, to submit ourselves to God, to resist the devil, and he will flee. We need to set our focus on the Lord, for him to be our priority, to submit to him so that we can let the peace of the Lord that surpasses all understanding become our state of mind, because we know that if the Lord is for us, who could be against us? And when we let this peace happen to us, we submit ourselves to the Lord, and the devil has no choice but to flee. And when you're sober-minded, you can be vigilant. You can give strict attention to. You can be cautious to make sure you do not fall into sin by taking notice of your triggers or heightened emotions. To be aware and watchful of the things that could cause you to sin, because you're focused on the Lord your God. You're in a place where you can be vigilant, but be at peace. You can notice the triggers coming. You can notice the fiery darts of the enemy coming, and you're able to hold up your shield of faith. If we look up the definition of adversary, it means accuser, plaintiff, or opponent. And we look up the definition of the devil, it means the prince of demons, the author of evil, prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. He is looking for anyone willing to give him a foothold. And when you're not sober, when you're not focused on the things of the Lord, when you don't have your eyes fixed on God, you allow yourself to be opened to the fiery darts of the enemy, because you have dropped your shield of faith. And now you've allowed the devil a foothold in your life. And all he needs is enough to get his toe in there, his pinky toe, his little toe in there, to cause chaos in your life, because this is what he does. It says he walks around like a prowling lion. So in the likeness of a lion, because we know Christ is the true lion, the Lion of Judah. So he walks around in the likeness of a lion. So this way, when you have your eyes fixed on the world, fixed on your problems, and not focused on God, and you're distracted, he can roar. And this roaring is celebration, because you've allowed him a way in. Doubt begins to creep in. Fear, you're distracted, you're drifting from God. And if he catches you in sin, he begins to roar, because you give him a reason to go to God and accuse you, to go before our judge in heaven and accuse you. And his roaring is celebration, because he thinks he has defeated you. And in turn, you hear his roaring of celebration and you believe that God is angry at you. You think your life is in chaos because God is angry at you, right? You think this roaring celebration is the anger of God when really it is the devil celebrating. And this chaos that's happening in your life is because you have become distracted. That peace is no longer your state of mind because your focus is no longer on the Lord, but it's on your problems. It is on the things of the world. Proverbs 19:12 tells us a king's wrath is like the growling of a lion, but his favor is like the dew of the grass. So this is why the enemy roars in celebration, because it is like. So it is not that God is angry at you. It is that the enemy is celebrating that he has a reason to go to court against you. And now you're questioning God. You're doubting God. You're living in this very transactional state that, oh, I did something wrong. So now in turn, God is angry at me. And that is not the God we serve. So that is the first problem right there, is that you do not truly know the character of God because you haven't been sitting and dwelling in his resting place. You need to come to know the Lord your God for himself so that you are no longer tricked by the likeness of things from the enemy, but you know when something is truly of God and that the likeness of something isn't causing you fear, isn't causing you doubt, isn't causing you worry, because you know who the Lord your God is. You are able to differentiate between the likeness, the enemy, the counterfeit, and the true presence of God. Our God is a loving, forgiving God. Humble yourself before the Lord. He said, if my people would just humble themselves before me, repent and seek my face, and then I will heal their land. But instead, we are tormented by the roaring celebration of the enemy, and we run further from God, questioning God, doubting God, thinking God is angry with us, thinking that the reason our land is desolate is because of God's anger, but it's really because we are living in disobedience to God. We aren't experiencing the blessings of the Lord because we are living in disobedience. And disobedience is rebellion against God. And rebellion is likened to witchcraft, which is a sin. You need to stop all that and come before the Lord. Humble yourself and repent. To first seek after his kingdom and righteousness. Matthew 6:33. And then begin to live 1 Peter 5:9. Submit yourself, humble yourself to God and submit yourself and resist the devil and he will flee. Stop falling for the temptation. Stop falling for the triggers. Stand in faith, leaning on God, getting to know God, dwelling in his resting place, coming to understand who he is, so that the enemy can no longer trick you, so that the enemy can no longer tempt you. So peace can be your state of mind, so you can be watchful and be vigilant to see these darks coming and hold up your shield of faith because you know who the Lord your God is. So that's it. That is all for this video. Comment down below. I will dwell and rest in the presence of the Lord and be vigilant. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Faith Steps with God, for more biblical teaching. And remember to travel the road that requires faith. Bye.